Hello.
Hello.
I'm Rylie, and this is Ariel.
Hi.
And we're here with Britt Daniel of Spoon.
Hey, y'all.
Hello.
How
It's
are
so
you?
nice to meet you.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, for sure. We're very excited. So we're just going to be talking to you both about, some KVRX stuff and some Spoon stuff.
Okay.
So,
I can do that.
yeah. So first, we kind of just wanted you to tell us about your show when you were a DJ here. If you remember what it was called.
I don't think I had a name, but I think someone put on the the grid. Someone might have put Britts in charge or something, but
Nice.
I didn't have I wasn't in charge of that. No one asked me. But it was just a free form show. And when I first started working for the station, it was all cable. And I worked for maybe a couple years like that. And then the transition to FM happened, and I helped throw parties or, publicize the fact that it was going FM.
Yeah.
And then I was there for probably two more years or something. But I got to admit, I was not a student the entire time. I was taking literally basket weaving classes in order to be qualified.
Yeah. That's funny.
I would take a class and then drop it. Awful.
That's funny. Just to do KVRX?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's really sweet. So we used to have KVRX Battle of the Bands, and I've heard some lore about Spoon and KVRX Battle of the Bands. Yeah. Do you want to tell me that story?
It was at the old Austin Music Hall, which was like an airplane hangar. No longer exists. I'm not sure if it was called Austin Music Hall then, but I remember there was a band called Mr. Happy, who I think they won, and we came in second, right? And this would have been 1992 or 1990. See, probably 93.
Yeah, I want to see 93. Yeah, this is a taping from it.
There's a compilation with Mr. Happy and you guys.
Yeah, Mr. Happy won
Yeah.
with their song "Kissing Jane."
Yeah.
And I remember Gals Panic very well. Stretford was on here. They were like an amazing band, and Sing Cola was an amazing band. I played with them all the time. Teen Titans. Yeah. That was what was going on in 1993.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Mm-hmm. So after Mr. Happy won, so they got to play, right, at the final.
It was a battle of bands, so a bunch of bands played.
Yeah.
It might have been all those bands. I don't know. But then I don't know. Was there another one that they won the chance to play? I don't know.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. They got to play
really?
at South by.
Yeah. Yeah, and we wouldn't have been able to do that for sure.
Yeah. So so Spoon kind of got started within KVRX, or while you were in KVRX.
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of made Spoon take off? What was the I guess catalyst?
Lots of play on KVRX probably. No, I don't know. I think the thing that there were a few lucky breaks we had, but one of them was that we were playing at the Blue Flamingo at an anti-South by Southwest show in 94 or 5, probably 94. And it was a show where Beck and Johnny Cash were playing a few doors down at Emo's, and it was that was a huge show, of course. And so a lot of people couldn't get in, and one of the people that couldn't get in came to our show. His name was Gerard Cosloy, and he was one of the founders of Matador Records. And he didn't have any intention of seeing us, but I guess we made a good impression because I'm still talking to that guy. And then it took a second, but eventually we put out a record on Matador. I think that was the main, being able to put out a record that was distributed around the world was a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, Spoon origin story going on.
Super cool.
Yeah.
So if we fast forward a little bit, Spoon's 10th album is coming out soon, which is awesome. Wonderful development. So how do you and your bandmates keep your ear to the ground for new music and new ways to create your own work?
I hear about a lot of bands through friends, really, And then I do listen to the radio a lot, and I hear the radio is pretty much always on in my house in a certain room, and then I'll just walk by and I'll hear something going on in there. But yeah, we are one of those bands that are I am one of those people that likes to be inundated by music when I'm in the creative process, and I know everybody's different with that. Some people don't want to hear anything so that they're not influenced by anything. But for me, it helps to hear music that I'm jazzed by. That makes me want to go out and make music. It gives me ideas. So I do try to, I actually listen to a lot of talk radio or podcasts, and then when it's time to work on a record, I just disconnect from all that so that I force myself to just hear more and more music.
Do you feel that, or how do you think KVRX's ethos of none of the hits all of the time has shaped that trajectory in any way?
Well, I certainly found out about a lot of music when I worked here, and I was, I think I was a little snotty. It really gave me a sense of this is the way a radio station should be run, and when we would get invited up to do the very first times that we get invited up to do 101X or KLBJ and just go talk to them, this isn't right. Someone else is telling you what to play, So it was I loved what this station was all about, and I loved how anything could become. I remember when one summer when I was working at KVRX, this compilation of Desmond Decker songs came out, and that was the biggest hit on KVRX that entire summer. And I don't think that was probably the case most places. It was not a CD or an album that set the world on fire, but I don't know. It's just weird. KVRX would just gravitate towards unique stuff.
Mm-hmm. And it definitely follows you. I think a lot of KVRX alumni and current and former students can say that it shapes how you interact with music and art.
Yeah.
Well after your time here.
I agree. And you meet a lot of cool people here. I met some of my best friends working at the station. Yeah.
Also, we have at KVRX here a system where DJs review albums, as you can see in our gigantic library, for volunteer points. And we did some digging, and we found some
I think I know where
CDs
this is going.
here.
Yeah, we found 2 CDs, both of them by Julian Cope, and they're both reviewed by you.
Right. I can only guess.
Yeah, I think one of them, I laughed at one of them because they said something funny, but...
Because I said something
Yeah,
funny?
you said something funny. I don't remember. But...
But yeah, I used to review a lot of CDs, a lot of albums.
Yeah. Do you have any that, stick out?
I remember giving a bad review to this band called Soul Hat, who was a local band that was doing really, really well. They played at the Black Cat, and they were, I think that there was probably some element of jealousy involved because they came onto the scene and they were just huge. And I wrote a very snarky review, and some people here did not like that. I got some, comments back. But I remember for instance, first PJ Harvey record I ever heard, first time I ever heard PJ Harvey was when there was a big tub of CDs at the weekly meeting, and it was all a thing where anybody can reach in here and pull a record out. You got to review it, then you bring it back. And I didn't know anything about her. I liked the cover. I thought it was unique, and that became one of my favorite artists ever. And I reviewed that one, and I was like, I think this is going to go somewhere, and I was right.
Yeah. Right on.
That's always the best feeling is when you listen to a record and you're like, yeah, these people are going to be big.
Yeah.
A year or two later.
Right.
I was right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm curious, do you guys still get CDs and vinyl sent from record companies?
Yeah. Yes.
And is that the main way you play music?
So
or do you do digital too?
Yeah, we created our digital new bin.
I guess with COVID. Yeah.
And So we have our like a spreadsheet that the DJs go through, and we still do have physical copies of CDs, but a lot of, I mean, especially with the vinyl shortage because of COVID and everything, a lot of artists aren't releasing their stuff physically. So it's nice to have both arenas. I play my shows off of Spotify, and if I want to kind of like incorporate vinyl, I will. But yeah.
When you play it off Spotify, you have like some kind of digital system here that you can access.
Yeah.
You're not having to hold your phone up.
No.
Plug that in.
Yeah.
That could be problematic.
Yes. It would be stressful.
But that's interesting to me that it wasn't until COVID that you guys started using digital, because I would imagine you're an outlier for that.
Yes,
right?
we were.
Yeah.
Opening mail, getting mail from promoters, the music directors would get asked a lot for if we accepted digital submissions. Right. And we stuck to our guns for a while, insisting on physical copies of CDs, which is cool. Spent a lot of hours opening up CDs, which is great if DJs like playing physical media.
Right.
I would spend a lot of time gathering CDs and vinyl and spinning them on my show, but as times change and circumstances change, we had to adapt finally.
Right.
So we did.
Yeah. Well, good for you I mean, you still play, obviously you play a lot of physical still. That's cool.
Yeah. So KVRX, we've kind of like touched on this a little bit, but I feel like KVRX has just a very niche and specific like energy that it puts out. There are things where something will happen in the station. I'm like, yeah, this is KVRX.
Yeah.
What is one, do you remember like an event in which you were like, yeah, this is what KVRX is?
I don't know. I just remember there being a lot of shows that were, it was KVRX Night at the Cannibal Club, and the cool thing about that was you knew that it was going to be something you'd probably never heard of. It probably would, very likely was local kids who didn't have a chance to play in a real club anywhere else. I remember going to a lot of those. I don't know. It was just it was super educational musically and in terms of like learning the technology and learning a little bit about the business, but it also was just like a great club, like I don't remember having any enemies at at the radio station. It was just all friends, it's just a cool place to hang. And I would come hang, like if I wasn't doing a show and I was between classes, I might just come hang. And that was allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that allowed still?
Yes.
Anybody can come
Yeah,
in? Cool.
definitely. Yeah. Spend a lot of time here. Yeah. We also wanted to ask you if you could play on a bill with anyone in Austin right now, who would that be?
Well, anyone in Austin. We're playing a show on New Year's Eve.
Yes,
yeah.
we were talking about that.
It's going to be a pretty good one, and we did get to pick bands that we love for that. We're going to play with John Doe and play with Sweet Spirit. We're playing on New Year's Eve at the Moody. Those are pretty good ones.
Yeah.
Did you know John Doe moved to Austin?
No.
Yeah. I guess he lived in LA forever. Other than that, I don't know. Maybe you should tell me who should we play with? Who's next?
That's a good question.
These guys.
Yeah, telenovela.
Telenovela?
Yeah, they're
All
they're from Lockhart. They're like, I was talking to my coworkers about this. They're like the king and queen of Lockhart right now, apparently.
It's a couple?
Yeah.
Do you remember Voxtrot?
Yeah.
So it's Jason from that, the bass player. And
Yeah, I knew Jason.
Yeah, and this is like his new band.
And does he live in Lockhart?
They live in Lockhart.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're super
Lockhart's
cool.
got something going on,
Yeah.
It's
barbecue.
Oh, yeah, besides barbecue, it's always had barbecue. It's a
Yeah.
cool place.
Yeah.
I went to a really good record store there like a week and a half ago. I wish I could remember what it was called.
Blue Bonnet?
Yeah. Yeah, the one that's on the square there. Yeah. Telenovela. Okay. All right, I got it. Next show.
Next show.
Yeah.
Spoon and telenovela.
Yeah. And also, Britt, you touched on this earlier when you were discussing how you like to have music playing in your home. And I wanted to know if you could expand on that more. And considering the changing and evolving landscape of media and broadcast, what what does college radio and independent radio mean to you?
That's a heavy question. I mean, I don't know. I mean, independent radio means a lot to me because it's, you know, in a way you could say it's my band's bread and butter. You know, we every now and then we'll make a quick little foray onto some commercial radio station, but it doesn't last long. It's not something that we've just never been super accepted in that world. We've done some things, but yeah, when we put out a record, it always seems to do well on college radio. It always seems to do well on the non-commercial stations, and you know, I love them for that. It just seems like music fanatics not only work at but listen to those stations and listen rabidly. And I'm a music fanatic. You know, I don't listen to music casually, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. Actually, I remember I was doing some digging through my old playlist from years ago, and I found the date that I saved the song in my library that I heard by Spoon on the non-commercial radio station in Dallas. And this is when I was much, much younger. And that's how I found
Like
Spoon.
you Shazammed it or something? Or
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
or
yeah.
I like Googled the lyrics.
Oh, right.
So, yeah.
Do you remember what song it was?
Yes, I do. It was Got Nuffin'.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And was that right when it came out? Or that was...
No, it was a few years later.
Okay, yeah.
91.7 also. Yeah. KXT.
What's the station in Dallas?
KXT 91.7.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah. I've spent some time in Dallas, but I don't... it's been a while since I've listened to the radio there. Yeah.
Cool.
What else you got? You got anything else?
Well, we wanted to kind of just show you our...
Take a blast from the past.
Uh-huh.
There. I think this is the one that I put the mic down. But I think you say, oh yes, the review for number 7.
Want to read that?
Yeah, you can read it.
Okay. All right. So this is my review of song number 7, which is West Country Medley. And I say it's a heavy, explosive song about one too many butt fuckers controlling me. Well, hey, I didn't even make that up. That's just a lyric from the song.
It's a direct quote.
And then 8, long maggot brainish guitar epic. I didn't even know I knew what maggot brain was back then. I guess I did.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I mean, yeah, look at it. It's all typed up, and it's like color coordinated. I took this shit seriously.
Yeah, not that one though. The other one's handwritten.
Yeah.
That one not as big of a deal.
Yeah, but this is my favorite Julian Cope. This is my favorite Julian Cope record, Jehovah Kill.
Yeah.
So.
Did you
funny
find it
picked
through
some-
KVRX or through?
No, I
your
already
own?
knew about him then, but yeah, I was blasting it.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Britt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a real pleasure to be back here.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been to this version of the station, but to be in this zone. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me.
Thank
of course.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Sweet.